What is up, everyone? I'm back with another video of this Road to 2K series. Spoiler alert, I do hit 2K IO, just not this run. I think it's either a freehold or a tall desire that I'll post in a little bit. But here is a 15 King's Rest Discipline Priest PoV again. We +1 this chest, and let's get it rolling. So there I go, actually showing off my talents, my traits, my gear. Getting better at that before I start a key. Hitting that little record button and showing off my stuff. I really like this. I really like my new UI setup, I really did. I wish I would have figured it out sooner than later, but trial and error, I guess. Don't know if this guy's trolling here. Do we have 3 Void here? Is he still playing Season 3? I don't know. You don't know, say? This is actually a really good run. This Arms Warrior gave me issues the whole run. I mean, partly because he's arms and partly because he was taking damage where he could have done better to avoid. I mean, he is kind of gimped just by being an Arms Warrior, but he's just still things he could have done differently. That was awesome play by that Demon Hunter there. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, I think we're going to be in really good hands here. If you're in the market for playing a new tank, Demon Hunter is really good. As a Discipline Priest, I really enjoy healing tanks that can keep themselves up. They can heal themselves pretty well, and or they can negate the damage before I need to heal anything. So Demon Hunters, DKs do the self-healing really well. Some Druids do it really well too. I think they might be a little more gear and stat oriented. But Druids are another good pick. If I had to pick a least favorite tank to heal, it would probably be Paladin. And the reason being is because most prop Paladins I've seen, they don't seem to play well. Like they could be set up to be pretty dang defensive or pretty dang offensive, and I would much rather prefer, oops, clicked off screen there. I would much rather prefer my tanks to be more defensive, because ultimately your goal is to stay alive and hold aggro. So I would just prefer my tanks to be a little more defensive, and sometimes I see Paladins like I don't know, they just can't. Ones I've run into are not the best. But I have seen really good Demon Hunters, some pretty good Blood Death Knights. Prot Warriors kind of hit or miss because it's kind of flavor of the month, and people like to play flavor of the month to get invites and pugs. But then again, I've had really good Prot Warriors who just know what they're doing. So it's just kind of like what I prefer as a discipline healer. Going back to the Arms Warrior thing, you're playing in a Grievous week. Arms Warrior does not have the most self heals. I don't think you really have good self-sustain at all. So we have 2 DPS specs. One is good at damage and self-sustain, and then you have Arms, which is good at damage also, but that's pretty much it. It's like you're already not bringing much as a warrior, and then you're going to be bringing even less as an Arms Warrior. It's all fine and well because you play whatever you want, but in a week like Grievous, like I said before in one of my videos regarding, well, this week, because it was still Grievous, Grievous is kind of like the affix that shows who sucks at the game and who's not really good at their class. And it falls on most of the healer, but it does kind of fall on the whole group, because 5-man is a team thing, right? So do whatever you can, do your best to help alleviate Grievous from yourself if you can, or help the healer out as much as you can. There are tons of pain stuff on the Demon Hunter, because why not? Put out cooldowns. I don't really know how Demon Hunters work. I think they need to build a little bit of combat time to get their pain generation, and maybe get their soul shards, whatever they consume soul. I don't know exactly what it's called. They do to heal themselves up pretty well. But I think they do a little bit of combat time. There you go. Offset Metamorphosis. He's going to be. The only reason he's taking damage here is probably because of 4-stack of Grievous. I do really like that 2-pack pull. Really like that. Most tanks just do 1-pack and then do 1-pack by themselves. Make it a 4 pull here instead of a 3 pull. And I much prefer the 3 pull instead of 4 pulls in this room. Teaming, which is today is Thursday the 9th I'm recording. But this video recording came probably like the 3rd, 4th, or 5th, one of those days. So this week is teaming now. And to do a 3 pull in here, you probably need a lust, honestly. Even though it's not fortified, it is tyrannical this week. You might need a lust to do a 3 pull in here, because the first 2 pulls that we just did here, they are pretty girthy, put it that way, pretty healthy pack. And to do it without a lust, I mean, it'd be doable but very sketchy to do. I want to make sure all your cooldowns are lined up. There, dropped a little barrier down because I know those little swirlies, little tornadoes going around right there. For whatever reason, melee just love getting hit by them. And I know I had an arms warrior in the group, and oh man, this guy just was. He died once, I think, the whole run. We had a total of 3 deaths, if I remember correctly. King's Rest is one of those. To me, it's one of those dungeons that are kind of. I don't know, it's one of those that like you always take. It's one of my later ones to get 15 or higher in time. Oh, here's the biggest issue I've had with the Demon Hunter. Like, eat the food. Not your own food, just. I don't know. That was my biggest annoyance with that past week of dungeon running, talking dungeons, is just eat the fish. I think they got up to about, how much was that on my server? Like per fish was like, I think a few hundred gold. Like it was expensive. I went from 240k gold to like 140k just by buying this fish feast. I mean, in the end it was worth it because I ranked got my Raider IO up to over 2k. I think I started the week at like maybe 1.7, 1.8. I was pretty proud of that. That was cool. Yeah, here we go. You know, just the spit gold right there that fell on the hunter. That's not. There's no mechanic saying like who's it going to be on. It just, if someone has a nice little weak aura like that says, hey, look, I got it, or it's down here. Now it doesn't help me out to know who to put my atonements on. Here, just more dots. I mean, that's more cleave damage. More dots ticking means more healing, hots, I guess you could say, healing over time rolling. So having these extra mobs in here actually helps healing out, helps it easier to heal. I got to myself a little late there because I was more concerned with getting my Purge the Wickeds out. Would have been a smarter play to have my Atonement out first, but I'm very confident as a Discipline Priest that, like, I know my own, I know what I can do. And let me see if I go back here. When I get targeted, do I do it? Okay, let's go right here. Right here. I popped my Desperate Prayer. That's a self-heal. And I go from there to my healing potion. And there I go. And that helps. Like that was my go-to that whole last week, was to Desperate Prayer myself right into a healing potion. Maybe it would have been better to healing potion then Death Repair. I think Death Repair increases your health pool, which I think would make it harder to get up to 90%. 90% of my health, which means it takes a little bit longer to heal off Grievous. But that was my go-to. Like I knew, like if I had Grievous, like I don't have to hurry up and like freak out and put a Shadow Mend on myself or a pain suppression on myself or a barrier or a rapture on myself. I just knew Death Repair with my healing potion. Death Repair is only a 1.5 minute cooldown, so it's another really good useful tool. There it is. Boop in the way. That's negated his effect. I don't see that nearly enough. I mean, what can you do? Like you're not. The guy's got like I think it's like 180 degree in front of him when he starts throwing his talons down. So you have to be behind him, and usually where he faces, it's kind of hard to like run around him without taking a few hits. So to me, it was more important to just boop him out of the way, and then he just negated his effect, and I don't have to worry about him anymore. He's booped. I think it's not like stunned, but kind of put him out of his lashing talons claw or whatever it was. Put him out of that. Probably for like a second or two. So being able to move mobs with Shining Force is a good play. Because sometimes mobs cannot be stunned, cannot be CC'd, but sometimes they can be moved like that. That's why Arrested Druid is so strong with their tidal wave push. It's just like a little bit extra, like oh we can't stun, can't CC, can't interrupt, oh but we can move him. Moving works, and that negated whatever he was about to do. So Priest do bring that utility. And in that row, I think it's you reduce your Psychic Stream by 30 seconds, the Shining Force, and then the other one is you can, when you mind control someone, you also have control of yourself. It's, I don't know, like out of that row, to me, being able to move someone is better than having a fear on half the normal cooldown. Right now it's on a 1 minute cooldown for Psychic Stream. So I have a displacement ability and let me talk about that real quick. I don't need to pause it. But I think I tried a Shining Force there, or I wanted the Shining Force, or I did do it, but I think I missed because I forgot Demon Hunters have that AoE pull. Similar to a Death Knight, and he played it with I saw that move, I'm like, this is a good Demon Hunter, this is a good Demon Hunter tank, he knows his utility and his class, like we're going to be in good hands this whole run. But yeah, back to, so I have Psychic Stream right now on a 1 minute cooldown, and I have a displacement ability, or I can not have a displacement ability, and have a 30-second fear, which even sometimes not all mobs can get feared, so to me it's just, in that row, it's like without a doubt, always Shining Force. Here, I mean, Warrior, eat the fish, dude. You don't have self-heals. Just eat the fish. Get rid of your Grievous and eat the fish, I don't know. And then just go get one shot. Okay, nice. Yeah, this whole run to Sarangor just felt like he was trolling me. But thank God that this week is Teaming and Volcanic and Tyrannical. Teaming can suck. It does suck sometimes, but it just, you have to pull more than you normally would. So it might take a group, like a dungeon or two, to realize, all right, cool, we did a normal run. We're at the last boss. Why are we 10% short on count? Oh, that's right, it's teaming week. So there are more mobs in the dungeon, but that doesn't mean like more towards count. That takes, you have to actually do a few more pulls to get that, to get to that 100% count, which can be annoying. But once you get used to it a few times, do it a few dungeons, I think you'll realize, okay, I think I did enough pulls, but oh yeah, it's teaming. I'm gonna do a few more pulls. And then also you can always download the Method Dungeon Tools add-on, and that you can sit there, go to the correct week it is. And then you just plan out your map that way. Plan out your route. That is such a super useful tool, so thank you to those guys over at Method. I don't know which one of those guys make the add-on or keep it up to date, but super useful tool that if you're a serious dungeon runner, you might want to have it. Even if you're not the tank, you can still look at it and plan routes as a DPS or as a healer. Even in pugs, you know, you can see a route that you might envision and the tank may or may not, but you can see like this, okay, I did this on my own terms for the method dungeon tools, and it looked like we were going to be short because the tank didn't pull these, so you can, you know, mention in the chat, hey, we need to pull this, or we need to pull a little bit more. So super useful tool, whether you're the tank or not. When I tank this, so I need to pay attention here. Yeah, so the Demon Hunter dropped that strike there and gave us that clear circle to run around the beam. So, because sometimes I tank too. I used to main tank. I'm in that weird area for myself where I played my priest for like 2 to 3 months straight, and now I'm kind of like, all right, hit 2k IO. I'm kind of getting to the goals I want to reach. I can get better gear, but it's going to take a lot more randomness. I think I'm at 473 item level. I mean, I don't have all the corruptions that I want, so there's still some room for me to improve, but that room is a lot more shallow now compared to my Prot Warrior, or just my Warrior in general, and my Paladin in general. So I'm kind of at the point where it's like, dude, do I want to switch mains again? I don't know. And I'm always weird about, do I need to, like, I like to have some type of feeling of connection to my classes and my characters that I play. Like, oh, what do I see in this class that I see in myself personally? I don't know, I'm a super nerd, I guess. Here we go, popping off on DPS meters. Holy Nova, Twilight Dev, cool 63k. I think we got up to like 68k at one point. So Holy Nova is your friend in large AoE pulls. Write that down, don't forget it. As long as you're Holy Novaing, make sure you have your Atonement Slot also to get double effect from Holy Nova heal and your Atonement heal 2 damage. Here again, another good play by this tank. It was just an overall great tank, Demon Hunter or not. He was just a good tank, knew what he was doing. Look at that cool line of blue and purples, like the Hulk colors. Very cool. Slime, LOL. Yeah, left one. I wanted to pull it for him, but then again I didn't because I didn't want to drop Sanguine in a weird way. I trusted the tank on this run a lot. It's a Pug tank. He did well so far. I felt like I didn't need to pull for him. Also because I didn't want to have, like I said, Sanguine kind of drop in a weird way. My G9 button on my Logitech mouse is still, it's not fixed. I'm learning to try to play around it, but there was I was trying to get my Shadowman off of the tank Demon Hunter there and it just wouldn't go. So that's kind of annoying, but I got it to work. So that's something I sometimes forget to do. But if you saw there, or you can go back and watch it, I popped my World Bane first to get that boosted intellect towards my Schism. And if my ratio is up, I get a random secondary stat, and I'm always hoping for anything but Mastery. Haste, I mean, Haste helps, but I prefer either a crit or a versatility buff when I Schism. But I always try to go World Bane, racial buff, Schism, boom, single target rotation, or just my DPS rotation really. The only difference between single target AoE rotation for Discipline Priest is you have to judge the size of the bull, but a good rule of thumb is to always have maximum dots out. Keep your dots out as much as you can, get as much out as much as you can. Single target is dot, penance, Solace, Smite until Penance comes back or Solace comes back. Use those on cooldown and Smite again, and then as your dot is going down, you reapply your dot, go right back into your Penance, Solace, and your Smite rotation. And use Schism as it comes back up, even if the target has 15% HP left. Schism's only like on a 24-second cooldown, which isn't too bad. And it's going to go by a little bit quicker if we use our Schism, even if the mob's about to die. That's also one of those play know like your run and know your route, because if you Schism and you're pulling again to the next 20 seconds, then okay, maybe it's not the best idea. So maybe you hold on to the Schism as a mob is about to die. Just kind of knowledge of the run. Here's another good play by the tank, even though it is fortified, that's right, it is fortified this week. These guys bang. These guys freaking bang. This is probably the hardest pulls of these to run in King's Rest, which is where I normally see King's Rest failing. Is because people like to underestimate the Berserker for some reason. This guy puts a mean dot out, a mean bleed out, and it stacks. And like if you're not a prot warrior, I think it's physical damage. But if you're not like a good self-sustaining tank, like you're gonna get fucked. And that's where people think, oh yeah, let's pull all 4 of 5 of them. That's the pull you probably need a less if you want to do a big pull, and definitely want your cooldowns ready. And this big damage, you're gonna need that. So like I like what Demon Hunter tank did. You know, instead of going down that route of let's just see if we can do it, he wanted to CC and pull the other 2 caster mobs, which are a lot easier to handle, because those guys don't do too much unless they get their cast off. And Demon Hunter is probably the best tank passively to deal with magic damage. So also he probably knew his class, like I can handle magic damage better than I can handle physical damage. So let me just deal with these guys and I'll just solo down the Berserker. So the Raptors are different. These Raptors can be stunned. They can also be stunned. The Raptors in that gauntlet room cannot be stunned. So these ones could still be pushed and stunned, whereas the ones in the gauntlet room can only be pushed. These ones might actually be able to get feared. I don't know if I tried here. No, I didn't. And I don't remember if I do try to fear them. I think they're so easy to avoid that I think I just avoid them instead of trying to get fancy with fears. I'll still do the occasional push because I like seeing like a mob fly at me and then go flying away. Oh, while I'm speaking of pushing mobs away, the Berserker, they can also get pushed. They do a purple swirl on the ground where they're gonna land. They land and do some type of slash that'll hurt you pretty bad if you don't get out of the way or do something to stop it. So what I like to do, because I like to laugh, is as they're jumping towards me, I time it right, Shining Force, as soon as they're about to land, they just get boop to some other place, and that negates their attack. Mana is needed. Yeah, sure do need mana. But it's okay, we kill it in time before the tank dies. I really don't know how last week went so well for Pugs. I mean, I know a lot of the high key pushers, they saw this week as an easy push week. Maybe not easy, but a pushable week. Because Sanguine is honestly very easy to make it a non-fix. Like you just gotta kind of have to be a little bit smarter with how you play. Know like, okay, as a tank I'm going to, this is strictly in pods, right? So as a tank, we're not in voice communications. I know what classes can push, so I'm going to ask for a push. I need a push, or I'm just going to move them where I want the DPS to kill them. Like I see that the DPS is going down, I'm going to start kiting them to where I want them to die, so I can have more room to kite and drop Sanguine somewhere else. As a healer, really not a whole lot you can do unless you're like a Resto Druid or a Priest and you can push. Shamans can too. Or you can buy the, or if you're an engineer, you can get the knockback belt buckle. And that's also another super useful this week, and in pug groups. So like in communications, like Sanguine pretty much is a non-fix. Hey guys, don't kill here. I want to kite them here. Let's kite them here and drop them here. Or hey, can I get a push? I messed something up or whatever, you know? Or like, hey, I'm about to push these guys. I'm gonna move these guys over here. Having voice communications is so much better. Makes things go so much more smooth. And then Grievous, it sucks, but usually those higher key pushers, those pushers are usually getting a Warlock in their group to get health stones and kick the Warlock. They have the health potions ready, they time their cooldowns. The healer's usually like, alright guys, use your personals here, I'm going to save mine for a later part in the fight. And then Fortify is just always seen as the easier week to push because some bosses on Tyrannical are just like nuts. Like already, like the higher the keys go, the bosses are going to take longer, and then just like multiply that with Tyrannical, I can just imagine it'd be a joke. Like this fight, this trio of mobs here on this run, or this boss right here, they already kind of suck the higher the keys go. But putting me on a Tyrannical, forget about it. And the last boss too. Like the last boss really isn't that hard, but it's just too many people get hit by the swirling tornadoes and they don't pay attention to it, and they're taking unnecessary damage. That's why that might seem hard, but this boss here is actually kind of hard because the axes, I mean, sometimes you just get overwhelmed with axes and you do your best to not get hit. Sometimes you do just get hit by the swirling axes there. And then also this mob here that we're fighting now, he does like that. He slams the tank, puts a debuff on it where they take more, with like 200% more damage from the boss itself. I forget what exactly the debuff reads as, but it's like 8 seconds and the tank can't really kite. Or they don't have a defensive ready, or the healer doesn't have a defensive ready. Like that's almost like an instant one shot. That's usually useful to have another teammate who can taunt and then keep themselves up. So usually like a Demon Hunter can taunt and then do whatever they do to not take damage. Paladin taunt and then bubble themselves. Oh, I thought I was going to get clapped there. I remember feeling my booty hole getting nice and clenched when I was running away. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get clapped. I was kind of surprised here. He did not want to CC. No big deal, easy pull. I mean, focus on Berserker. So I put skulls out. So that's an OPI add-on, by the way, where get F, dude. Nice. That was OPI add-on, that with a little reticle that popped up and had the options. So I just moved my mouse and then I press a button, press a keybind. That'll pop up. You can put in whatever you want. I just decided to put markers like that and have another keybind for world markers. Put the mouse where whichever one you want, let go of that keybind, and then boom, you're ready to use whatever you just highlighted over. So this group didn't focus down the skull, which is okay, I guess. I honestly feel like people don't know that the general primary target marker is skull, and then usually secondary is X. And maybe I'm just an old head. I mean, I haven't played since Wrath of the Lich King, but when I played in Wrath, it was skull is first, X is second. That's just how the hierarchy went. But I've seen multiple times in Pug where I put a skull and they're like the last to die, and maybe I'm wrong now. I don't know. Gonad. Good thing I can't freaking type. Man, that is a pet peeve of mine when I'm trying to type and I ruin it. Sometimes I'll just go all the way back and like delete everything I put instead of just like mousing over and quickly fixing. I'll backspace the whole freaking thing. Whether it's a full paragraph or not, fuck this. I need to learn how to type. I'll do that. Jamba. Over here. LOL. So to me this is not spread. Like we're dropping sanguine on my poor fish. I mean, I should have placed my fish somewhere else, but we dropped sanguine on my fish. My fish? My fish. It's probably what he wanted us to spread for, is because sanguine. But it's okay. Only added like a few seconds onto our pull. We're still in great shape. I think it took me so long to get that warrior like topped is because I was just annoyed with him the whole run, so I was like, F this dude, you can just drop dead again, I don't care, we're still gonna time. And I don't know if that's what I was feeling during that specific instance, but I do know I did feel that a lot during Pugs. And I know I felt that towards him during this run. During last week I was just like, alright, you don't want to help me out? I'm not gonna kill you. Look at man. Instead of man, I put man. And there goes the warrior again, just not eating, just being a dunce. Being a dunce. It's like, look at you, you're doing nothing to help the key right now. You're just sitting there with grievous stacks on you. Right here. Here's where I don't. Okay, I should have put a token out. Do I do it? Do I do it? Nah. I said fuck that dude. Good, he finally started eating. Like, come on, man. Gosh, that was just so irritating all last week. So irritating. Smite away. Boom, boom, boom. Easy. When your healer can pull as much DPS as a tank, that's really good. You want to do that. If you're watching this and you're new to healing or you think about healing, and you want to do keys like this, I mean, 15s aren't like very hard, but around here is where you kind of want to be start thinking a little more how, as a healer, you want to start thinking like, how can I do more damage in my healing rotation? What can I do to help make this key go by faster? Because in the end, right, I mean, if you're playing keys, you probably want to push them. If you don't care to push them, then maybe you're just there to play the affixes, and if that's the case, make sure you let your party know if you're pugging. Okay guys, I really don't care to push this key, I just want to play. You'll probably have a lot of people drop out, but I'm sure there's a minority of people out there who like to just play the affixes or whatever and not really care about timing. I am not one of them. And if you're watching, you may not be one of them too, and you just want to push. So as a healer, I think you have probably one of the more important roles. It's very close with healing the tank. Because you have F base, like the very basic level of it. Healing is just make sure your party does not die. It does not mean your party has to be at 100% all the time. They just do not have to die. That's one big thing that, if you can take away from this video as a healer, you do not have to make sure your team's at 100% at all times. Because you got to think about how long fights can be, how long your mana is going to last, what you're currently doing. So you really just make sure your team is alive. It's more important than keeping them at 100% the whole time. Previous kind of changed a little bit, but in good practice, just make sure your team doesn't die. But yeah, on top of that, so when you start getting to higher keys, getting past, so I'd say 15 is probably like right around the mark. Even at 15, like a healer doesn't have to do the same damage, but it's good to practice at like the lower keys. Let's say you're very confident in your healing. You know, like, oh yeah, I can heal this easily. Like I've done it plenty of times. Do those keys again, but see where you can add in damage. It's a lot easier as Discipline Priest, a Holy Paladin, Resto Druid, Monk now, Mistweaver Monk too. Those 4, but mainly the first 3 I mentioned are like 3 out of the 6 that are very good at doing damage and healing at the same time. I mean, Shamans can do it, Holy Priests can do it, they all can do it. They just do it differently, and some might have a harder time than others. So it's just kind of finding like how you can do it at whatever class you decide to play. But that is probably why healer is the most important, or maybe right behind tank, because having a good route is very good. But you want to see where you can add in your damage to help mobs die faster, which helps you go through the dungeon faster, which helps you time with more keys. So I don't think I show it here. I got 33 seconds of the video. I'll let it play out. Oh, I do. Okay. Alright, good. I'm showing overall of everything. Yep. I mean, I've seen keys pushed where. Let me pop it here. So, I did 23.3 overall damage. Tank did 33.3. Ideally, at this level in the season, at 15s, I would say the Hunter is at, I want to say the bare minimum, but like right over up. Like bare minimum to me for an overall DPS in 15s right now, it should be about like that 49 to 51k range. And then ideally I'd want everyone in that Team Hunter's range at 65.9, but he probably had a lot of Twilight Dead procs, which it is what it is. But the word doing 46, like what did you do this run? Like some tanks do that much damage. So he played arms this run, and look where he's on the healing meter. I only showed my top 4. He's probably number 5 with less than 2.5k healing, self healing. As a Fury, he'd probably be at like 3 to 4k, which probably could have saved him in some of his deaths. But yeah, so me adding that 23.3 kind of helped out overall. If I only did like maybe 10k, he probably still would have timed it, but would have been a slower time. So in this instance, it helped a lot that I put out that much damage to help improve our lowest DPS player, or 46k even. So me adding 23.3 on top of everyone else's, but his lowest at being at 46k, it was just good overall to have. Like I said, we still probably could have timed it. It was only at 15 if I would have done 10k less damage or so. But like these numbers here, probably would not have pushed like a 17 or an 18. So just something to think about as a healer, like where can you help out the group in damage? Like can you have that one DPS is slacking for some reason? Maybe you can find down times to not heal to apply more damage in whichever way your class does it. Paladins, Resto Druids, Discipline Priests, they all do it the best in my opinion. Discipline Priest does it to heal. They just don't do it as strong anymore. Stronger, like I think they still do it strong in Resto Druids, or they might be tied. It also might depend on the pull. Holy Paladins, just forget about it. Like turn their wings. Like go watch a professional Holy Paladin streamer. Just watch like their damage. It's ridiculous. That's all I gotta say about that. We'll leave it at that. Let the rest of the video play out. Nice cool leaf party. Sick. And that's it. thank you everyone for watching this video. This is the Road to 2K IO series. I kind of start off saying Discipline Priest point of view, then start talking about the dungeons at Discipline Priest. Now on top of that, I'm adding it to the Road to 2K IO. Unfortunately, I didn't start it as like a fresh character. I just kind of started when I was already at 1.5 or 1.6 IO, I believe. And spoiler, I'm at 2022 is my IO currently right now, as of like this very second, April 9th, 2020. I'm at 2022 IO. I believe I broke 2K either in a freehold or in a Tall Desire 16. I plan on putting those up on the channel in a little bit, either today, tomorrow, or in the next few days. But yeah, that was our King's Rest 15+1 chest, Discipline Priest point of view. Please guys, ask any questions you have about Discipline Priest, King's Rest, Mythic Plus in general, the Raider IO system. I don't know everything. I probably don't know a whole lot anyways, but I do know a decent amount of things. If you guys have questions, please just let me know. Other than that, thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day.